language therapy is a lot of things, but from my experience, it's important why we have to include kids in speech, kids who have speech and language in a classroom setup, because in speech therapy, that is when we review. In inclusion, that is when they apply all the learnings, how to say hello, how to say good morning, how are you? Because one-on-one with the therapist is okay, but one-on-one with a peer is much better. That's when the time they can express what they've learned into action. The a, e, I, that's how they say it in a classroom setting. So it's important for them to apply social pragmatics, all the learnings that they have learned in speech language classroom, in a classroom setup with peers, because their confidence levels up. And that's what I think.
The inclusion of children with disabilities is very important to me. Kasi po, natutulungan po natin yung mga bata na ma-educate throughout the teachings from the ECCD. And tulad kong child development teacher, natutunan ko, mas marami akong natutunan doon dito sa training na to, sa conference, how to handle such kids with disability.
I'm Isa Berlaza. I work as a preschool teacher in Explorations Preschool in Mandaluyong. And part-time, I also work as a reading interventionist in Batangas. And I find that as a preschool teacher, it's very important that we are knowledgeable about addressing about identifying the red flags. Those are among the key points that I got from the seminar this year. What I also like about it is that it brings together different stakeholders. A lot of the speakers were doctors, were therapists, and also teachers. And teachers, parents, and even people who also who have their own disabilities. So it was really enlightening to hear from them and to hear them share about the best practices that they do. And it's also nice that they come from different parts in the Philippines, and that's one of our hope, that more people will know more about it.
I am Meridel Tan Revelo, school principal of 2 schools for 6 years from the division of Misamis Occidental, Tudela District, Northern Mindanao. This really gives me the opportunity to know better and deep understanding on the 2017 National Conference on Inclusion of Children. In this conference, I am convinced that I have to do more with the understanding and patience of such individuals, the less and small wonders, which we call the typical children and with disabilities, for worthy to be treasured with so much love and care.
What I think about inclusion of children in the early years, I think the Congress that we have now is an eye-opener for all teachers, because our idea of inclusion before, we are into preparing the child before putting the child in a least restricted environment. But now, it's a different definition of inclusion. You don't need to prepare the child. What you need to prepare is your program, everything that the teacher can do, no, in the classroom. So, napakaganda kasi lahat ng bata talagang mai-include siya. So, it answers to the call of giving responsive educations to all learners, regardless of whether the child has disabilities or disabilities. So, inclusion, lahat included na. Hindi mo na kailangan, hindi ka muna dito anak kasi hindi pa pwede dahil hindi pa handa. Wala na ho yung ganun na idea ng inclusion. So, we have to take in all the students, all the children, regardless of whether they have abilities and disabilities. Napakaganda kasi lahat ng mga bata, we're creating a community of nandun yung lahat ng goodness in the world. Kindness, yung patience, yung pagiging loving. So we are creating that kind of community. That's the essence of inclusion. You don't have to discriminate, segregate. Napakaganda. What a wonderful world we're going to have, no, in the future kung sa simula pa lang ay natitrain na natin yung mga bata na sama-sama silang natututo in an inclusive environment. So, napakalaking tawag niyan sa isang guro na kagaya ko, na lahat ng ginagawa ko, no, I have to effect that positive change in all of my students. Wala akong dapat pipiliin. So, ang ano ko bilang guro na lahat ng kayang ibigay, hindi, there's this word na equality and equity, no? Hindi ibig sabihin ang equality kasi pare-parehas ibibigay ko. Equity, on my part, yun ang ano ko na kung ano yung kailangan ng mga estudyante ko, yun ang ibibigay ko. So, access to all learning opportunities, yan nga yung ano, participation, that all kinds of children, all types of children, no, regardless of their needs, should be able to participate at mabibigyan ng support. Hindi malayong magiging maganda ang, it's a very good investment, no, in the future that everybody will reap its fruit kung totohanin natin ang inclusion of children sa ating dito sa early years.
Inclusion of children with special needs in Child Development Center is very important because it allows the child to participate in activities that are developmentally appropriate. It also allows the child to access the different services in the locality. It allows the child to learn in a supportive environments and be given services such as education, health, and nutrition. It also allows the child to participate in activities that is developmentally appropriate.
I am Noel Coronel. I'm a parent and I'm a student. I came from a corporate world, but then my child, Gabby, my son, was diagnosed with ASD. And at first, I did not believe the diagnosis because I cannot see anything wrong with him. It's just that he has speech delay. I enrolled my child in a SPED school, but then I did not see any improvement with it when it comes to his speech, and his movement is still the same. And also I also let him do therapy twice a week, but then again I did not see any improvement. And then I decided that I should focus in helping him before he turns 7, because after 7 I know it's very difficult to handle a child who is diagnosed with autism. But then a miracle happened last year when we traveled, when we got to our hotel room, and then when he entered the what you call this, the restroom, he saw a bathtub, and the first words that he said was, "Take a bath." He did not learn how to say mama or papa or lolo or lola. He just said, "Take a bath." And all that I can remember was that when he wasn't speaking at all, I just read books every night with him. I just buy him a toy.
I am Noelle Cruz Belloyut, representing the Department of Education Division of Pampanga. I am the Education Program Specialist in charge of kindergarten. On the part of the child with special needs, we must be exposed in a situation, in a normal situation. Chances are they will be bullied by other children. And if the kindergarten teachers don't know how to handle them, that is why this conference is very important, because we learn how to handle children, we learn their exceptionalities.
I'm Irene Acuña from Mariano Marcos State University, Baguio City. I am the program advisor of special education and early childhood education programs, both in the graduate and undergraduate levels. Occasions like this is an empowering one. With this conference, I feel honored and highly motivated to do my task or my role as program advisor of the special education and early childhood education programs of our institute. I am quite familiar with inclusive education, but with this conference, my perspectives on inclusive education has widened, and I'm highly motivated to go deeper and look for more meaningful and more purposeful outcomes. Inclusive education in early childhood or early years is a monumental move in the field of education. It only means that we are looking into the totality of society, that we are really welcoming all kinds of learners regardless of anything. I agree with the contention of the speakers in the conference that inclusive education should start upon birth. Inclusive education in the early years means a collaborative endeavor of different sectors of society and starts from the family, the school, and the community.
I am Diane Saga, and I am a special education teacher of Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte, particularly Sindangan SPED Center. This conference provided me with more ideas, which means more work to be done in the field. But indeed, this conference inspires me to continue serving my children with special needs in an inclusive settings, and this conference also introduces me to the different support groups which is needed for the holistic development of our special children. Inclusion in the early years is very important for special children because during these years they are going to learn more holistically in an environment that gives them a normal life like other normal children or regular children. The topics given by our speakers is relevant to our theme, and it is given by knowledgeable professionals, which is very much helpful to the participants. I have learned from the discussion yesterday that we don't have to wait for children to be ready, but instead we have to iron out the policies and the programs of education which will lead them to be developed holistically and have a normal life like other children.
I am Leonin C. Flores, principal from Tulunan Central Elementary School from North Cotabato. This conference is a blessing for me. Are we ready for this inclusive education? My answer is a big yes. It is because Tulunan Central Elementary School had been catering children 9 years ago, and until now we are still having that program, special education. But even we are not, it is not because we are asked to do it. It is not because we are directed to do it. We wanted to help those kids in our community. Let me give this as an example. In Tulunan Central Elementary School, at this time, we have 26 special children, and they are mainstreamed in the regular classes. And we have now our grade 5 for that. And of course, with the support of our parents and with some financial assistance from our MOOE and from our local government unit. And in our program right now, our children had been experiencing so many activities that we do for our school. We have our SPED holiday for them, and we do it for the third time until now. And we stand to the saying in the Bible that we should train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. And that is, we are having this inclusive education for the children with developmental delay for in the early years. So when are we going to start educating them? So we need to educate them at the early age. Just like normal children, normal kids, they have to learn, they have to know what the things that they need to know in our community in order to be or to belong in the group. So this conference is a big help for the principals, especially in my case, because number one, we're seeking assistance for our program in the school. And number two, we wanted to learn more about how to continue our program, how to have that activities for these kids, and how are we going to sustain this program in order for us to help all those children.